Hey everyone, my name is Haz and welcome to the first episode of Zero to Hero. So recently for the past weekend, I've been playing a lot of BEYBLADE X Zone on the Switch. What if we do this, but in real life? Hey Bladers, my name is Haz and welcome back to Zero to Hero. In today's episode, we'll be heading back to Sentinel Games. If you guys are unsure about the tournament, here are the rules. Basic rule sets, no gimmicks, with a GG tournament at the end of the session. My main goal right now is to try to get a better placement in tonight's session, and in turn get a better part. In terms of our deck, we'll be using these Beyblades. Right, in today's video, we'll be using these Beyblades. Hellscythe 580 ball, Sword 360 taper, and Cobalt Drake 460 flat. Now since this is like a clear version of the original Cobalt Drake, I'll be calling this the Clear Drake from now on. With the deck set, let's head off to Sentinels. So here's the game plan, right? Same as what we did last session, I will keep Clear Drake on its default combo and then see what changes we can make. In the meantime, what I would like to do is to try and understand how Clear Drake works. We start off with our first opponent, Yang Xia. It's noted that he has a Hover Wyvern in his deck, a Beyblade that's not really common here in Singapore due to it not being officially released, so I'm not too sure about its capabilities. I picked Sword as our first Beyblade. We launch. Sword was able to take a hit on Hover Wyvern. Hover Wyvern was able to deflect Sword, sending it into the extreme zone. Not a very good start. With Yang Xia leading with 3 points, we try to catch up. Yang Xia uses Shark Skill while I pick Clear Drake. Skill runs straight into the over pocket, but is able to get itself out. While Drake is able to knock it back in, Skill still manages to get out again. And because of the blocky 4-sided design of Drake, we are able to parry most of Skill's attacks, and we barely win the spin finish. With Hellscythe on ball against Wizardrod, I'm hoping that we were able to destabilize it, or at best burst it quickly. But Wizardrod was able to stand strong and repel our attacks.
Oh my god!
Yang Xia takes the match with a spin finish. So from what I've observed, Drake on 460 flat, it's strong, but it's such a glass cannon that it's not able to survive, on longer fights. So what I will do is to swap the parts around, with Drake holding the taper bit, giving it a bit more survivability in the long run. Hellscythe holding the flat bit, and Sword the ball bit. Let's see how this deck fares. Our second opponent, Barack Obama? What the fuck? Our second opponent, Barack Obama, is using a Shark Skill as his first Beyblade. We start off with Clear Drake. With a powerful extreme attack, Skill pushes Clear Drake off and into the over pocket. We try to make a comeback with Dren Ball against his Phoenix Wing. We trade blows, but Phoenix Wing knocks it out into Extreme Zone, giving Obama the win. We currently have 2 losses. We try to salvage what we can to get a positive win rate for the third match of the session. We pair up against Yuzu. She uses Tyranno Beat while I pick Clear Drake as our first Beyblade. We launch. Drake is able to counter the anti-attack design of Tyranno Beat, sending it into the over pocket. Next round, we have Wizardrod against fighting Dren Ball. Suddenly, we were able to punch Wizardrod into the over pocket. And with some blessing on Yuzu's side, Wizardrod was able to tank the hit and bounce back. However, this took a lot of stamina on Wizardrod, and we were able to win with a spin finish. For the third match is Hellscythe against Shark Skill. Although Hellscythe was able to put up a good fight, he did not manage to retain enough stamina for the long run, giving Yuzu the spin finish win. For the reshuffle, Yuzu picks Wizardrod while I choose Clear Drake. We trade blows, but Wizardrod comes out on top, sending us into the over pocket. It's a match point for me and Yuzu. Yuzu picks Shark Skill while I use Dren Ball. Skill deals a critical hit, bursting Dransword before going to the overpocket herself. With Dransword bursting first, Yuzu takes the win. So it's 3 losses in a row so far. It really feels depressing when I can't seem to make the Clear Drake blade work. Now it is obvious that Clear Drake is able to tank the hits, it's able to dish out the hits, but it feels like there's a limiting factor right now, and that limiting factor is me. I take a step back and sort of re-evaluate my standings. We face off our 4th opponent, Noob Master. Noob Master uses Emperor Blast while we use Hellside. We almost self-extreme there, but managed to get back in. However, due to the heavy weight of Emperor Blast on the wheel assist blade, Hellside did not have the firepower to push it out. Noob Master wins with a spin finish. Next up, for his Nightmail, we use our Clear Drake. Clear Drake is able to dish out heavy hits onto Nightmail, and we win by spin finish. Third round, we use our Dran Ball build against Phoenix Wing. Dransword is able to tank many of Phoenix's hits, but it proved to be too much as Dran Ball self-destructs in the end. For the reshuffle, we start off with Clear Drake against his Emperor Blast. We get the very lucky self-KO. Match point, we get a rematch against Phoenix Wing with Dran Ball. Phoenix Wing goes out of control and barely misses us. It self-extremes, winning us our first match. For our final match, we go up against Senna. We start off with Clear Drake, while Senna uses Shark Scale. We trade heavy blows. But Clear Drake bounces into the overpocket in the last minute. In the second round, we face Pegasus Blast with Dran Ball. I have expected us to burst, but we were able to dodge an extreme dash attack, sending itself into the extreme zone. With the point lead, we set our Hellscythe onto Phoenix Wing. With Hellscythe being a natural anti-attacker, it is able to repel Phoenix's attacks, and we win the set, and the session ends. Despite having 2 wins and 3 losses, we still managed to get, I think, about 14th place. So there's a bit of an improvement there from last session. This allowed us to get a new part, in this case a new Tyrannosaur blade. We'll be using our new edition for G3. Hellscythe 580 ball, Clear Drake 460 taper, and Tyrannosaur on 360 flat. At this point, I'm feeling a bit more confident about Clear Drake, so yeah. We prep for our first match against Sunny. We start off with Drake against his Shark Scale. We counter-attack and send it into Extreme Zone. We now have a 3-point lead. But Sunny was able to catch up with a point, using his Phoenix Wing against Tyranno, beating it to a pulp with its weight difference. We hope to get the 1 point to win with Hellscythe, but his Aero Pegasus went all out and proceeds to burst it easily. We are now match point. Feeling nervous, I decided to put it all on Clear Drake, while Sunny picks Aero Pegasus for his trump card. We launch for the first time, but Clear Drake crashes out of the stadium. GM calls for a relaunch. We launch a second time. Clear Drake crashes out again. GM calls for another relaunch. I can't afford to make the same mistake again. I prepare to launch for the final time. We launch. Burst. But who bursted first? Aero Pegasus bursted first, and we win our first G3 round. I have to say this is a very big improvement, considering that our last G3 session we couldn't even last 1 round. So yeah, I'm happy for this actually. However, it's not over yet as we head off to face our second opponent, Keith. We start with Clear Drake against his Scale. Drake battles Scale fiercely. We even managed to get it into the overpocket, but due to the nature of the 160 ratchet that he has, it's able to counter and bounce back into the stadium.
They're close at 160.
Alas, Clear Drake used most of his stamina and we lose the spin finish. With Tyranno against Wizard Rod, we do a more powerful launch and we initially have the speed and firepower, but we miss our extreme dash attack, losing all of our stamina. Wizard Rod wins by spin finish. On Hellscythe against Pegasus, we launch and manage to stall our Hellscythe to avoid getting into the center of the stadium, allowing Pegasus to fly out into the extreme zone. Keith and I are now neck and neck in terms of points. If we play our cards right, we can advance into the semifinals. We do a stall launch to avoid Skill's first wave of attacks before going in and attacking it. However, Keith is able to counterattack and with better positioning, knocks Clear Drake out into the overpool. Keith takes the win and we get eliminated from G3. It was a very close match. I think at the last second it was a matter of which Beyblades was positioned properly within the last phase of the fight, and yeah, we lost. But I'm happy to say that we were able to actually get that far, and at the same time we were able to know like how Clear Drake works with the taper bit.
All in all, that was a very interesting tournament. At the end of the day, we actually did better than last session, but I hope to improve in future tournaments. And we've come to the end of the episode. If you can, please support the channel and we'll do more of Zero to Hero. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!